Hello, dear students. As we are dealing with the topic, The Portrait of a Lady by Khushwant Singh. In our previous class, we learned that the author Khushwant Singh and his grandmother, they have shifted to the city. Earlier, they used to live in village. Now, let us continue the story. As the years rolled by, we saw less of each other. Here, rolled by is a phrasal verb which means passed by. So the author says that as the years passed by, we means the author and his grandmother, they saw less of each other, means they met less of each other. For some time, she continued to wake me up and get me ready for school. Like in village, his grandmother used to wake him up and get him ready for the school. Similarly, she continued this thing in the city also. When I came back, she would ask me what the teacher had taught, and also she inquired about his teaching, his learning at the school. I would tell her English words and little things of Western science and learning, the law of gravity, Archimedes' principle, the world being round, etc. And the author would tell her that he learned English words and little things of Western science and learning, also the law of gravity, Archimedes' principle, and the world being round. These things were learnt by him in the school. This made her unhappy. On listening all these things, his grandmother became unhappy. She could not help me with my lessons. The author says that in the city, his grandmother was unable to help him with his lessons. She did not believe in the things they taught at the English school and was distressed that there was no teaching about God and the scriptures. Actually, in the school, which were situated in the city and where the author used to go, there uh, they were English schools, and his grandmother was distressed. Distressed means upset that there was no teaching about God and the scriptures, because in those schools there was no teaching about God and the scriptures. Scriptures means holy writings. One day I announced that we were being given music lessons. One day the author came back from his school and he told his grandmother that he learnt music at the school. She was very disturbed. Again, she became very disturbed. To her, music had lewd associations. Lewd means indecent. Okay, so she thought that music is an indecent thing and it is not associated with the people who belong to noble families. It was the monopoly of harlots and beggars and not meant for gentlefolk, because his grandmother believed that it was the monopoly. Monopoly means possession of harlots. Harlots are the people who have low dignity in the society, and beggars, and they are not meant for gentlefolk. Gentlefolk means gentle people. She said nothing, but her silence meant disapproval. The author says that his grandmother kept quiet, but that meant a lot for the author. She rarely talked to me after that. He further says that after this incident, she talked less to him. Okay. When I went up to university, I was given a room of my own. Now the author tells us the things, tells us about the events when he went to university. That time he was given a separate room in his house. Earlier we know that his grandmother and he used to share the same room. The common link of friendship was snapped. So the link of friendship between the two snapped means broken. My grandmother accepted her seclusion with resignation. Children, this expression means his grandmother accepted her loneliness without any complaint. She rarely left her spinning wheel to talk to anyone. As his grandmother used to sit at the spinning wheel, you know that spinning wheel is a thing where the thread is converted into yarn, okay? And she used to do that work. So she just sat there and she didn't talk to anyone. From sunrise to sunset, she sat by her wheel spinning and reciting prayers. And from sunrise means from morning to sunset means evening. She used to do that work, and simultaneously she used to recite her prayers. Only in the afternoon she relaxed for a while to feed the sparrows, and she used to free herself only in the afternoon so as to feed the sparrows. Dear students, you know that when grandmother was in the village, she used to feed the dogs, and in city she is feeding the sparrows. While she sat in the veranda, breaking the bread into little bits, hundreds of little birds collected round her, creating a veritable bedlam of chirruping. Now, dear students, this expression, a veritable bedlam of chirruping, means the sound and the confusion which was created by the birds. Okay, we can say that there was a chaos, a disorder because of the noise of the birds. Here the author tells us while she sat, means she sat in the veranda, and what she used to do, she used to break the bread slices into little bits in order to give them to the birds. And there were hundreds of little birds. These birds were sparrows, creating noise, confusion. Some came and perched on her legs. Birds means sat quietly. Some birds came and they sat on her legs, others on her shoulders, others birds on her shoulders, some even sat on her head. Even the birds sat on her head. She smiled, but seeing all these things, she only smiled but never shooed them away, means she never told them to go away from there. It used to be the happiest half hour of the day for her, and it was the best time of the day for grandmother, as she used to enjoy her time with the birds by feeding them the uh, little bits of bread. Okay, so students, that's all for now. Rest we will discuss in next class. Thank you.